This is the greatest state in the country. It's my firm belief. I've traveled around the country. I've been in 49 out of 50 states. The only state I haven't been in is Hawaii, and I can say that Rhode Island is the best state. And here we are standing in our state capital, and what a gorgeous, gorgeous building this is. And it's a symbol of an era of great prosperity in Rhode Island, and we want to get that back. And one of my firm views is how we're going to get that prosperity back. The prosperity that allowed us to build such a gorgeous building as this, the economy booming, is by having a good budget. That's an important part of bringing back our prosperity. And a good budget to me is one that invests in education, it invests in infrastructure, and it looks to the future. And that's what my budget does. We're taking $12 million and putting into a fund to make sure that we don't borrow at the Department of Transportation. Because by borrowing, we have to pay interest on that borrowing. Believe it or not, we're spending $43 million a year in interest. That's wasted $43 million a year when we want to put it into our roads and our bridges. Another program I'm investing in is the MASS program, which is there are many municipal pension funds that are going broke. Nobody's talking about it, but I came from the municipal side. I was a mayor and a councilman, and just look at this. We're talking about the state pension fund being in trouble. The state pension fund is 48% funded. Listen to this. Smithfield Police, 11% funded. Cranston Police and Fire, 15% funded. Coventry Police, 17% funded. Situate Police, 23%. Johnson Fire, 26%. Pawtucket Police and Fire, 29%. So my program, which takes $19 million, invests in making sure those pension funds don't end up on the state doorstep. We're going to guide them into solvency, but we're all going to take some money, state money, and help them, incentivize them to get back on a financial firm footing. My budget also invests in higher education. Over the last 3 years, we've cut URI, Rhode Island College, and CCRI $38 million. We've cut. Now that doesn't even mean inflation. We've cut them $38 million over the last 3 years. And what that meant? Tuition's going up at our state colleges. It's becoming unaffordable to go to URI, unaffordable to go to RIC, unaffordable to go CCRI. That's not in our long-term best interest. So my budget reverses that trend, not cutting to higher education, instead putting $10 million in with the goal of no tuition increase at CCRI. That's the first step to growing our economy. Then we want to have no tuition increase at Rhode Island College down the road and URI. Right now, this year, I think the $10 million can only result in no tuition increase at CCRI. So these are investments in the future, investments in education, investments in infrastructure, roads and bridges. And that's a forward-looking budget, and I want to be governor of a state in which we're making those wise investments. These are tough times. We've made a great many cuts across state government. You can't register a car or get a license at DMV because of cuts. Pawtucket's going broke. Providence is going broke. Central Falls is broke. Woonsocket and West Warwick are in deep trouble because of deep cuts to cities and towns. $195 million over the last several years. $195 million in cuts to state aid to cities and towns, resulting in all these difficulties for distressed communities. So I'm reversing that trend where no more cuts in state aid to cities and towns. I want them solid on financial footing. So this is a budget for the future in very, very difficult times, and I'm proud of this budget.